Welcome back to another Rise of Kings video. Today is just going to be a quick little rant by me about why sleepers absolutely ruin the beginning of the game. So I did a sleeper, right? But I did start without the plan to be a sleeper. So I wasn't in a organized group. I wasn't, in top alliances. I was just kind of rolling the dice and playing and, being very casual about it. Now, that's the new player experience, right? Like, most people download the game, they don't know what's going on. I knew what was going on, but I didn't have a group, I didn't have a set, whale in my alliance giving me all these chests, all these things. So the new player is getting less than, all these sleepers are. And then the sleepers migrate back, and they get even more ahead. Now, there's not a lot of ways to solve this, but at its core, a new player who doesn't want to do this is completely disadvantaged. Even inexperienced, right? You can be the most veteran player, and you're gonna benefit less by not doing a sleeper, by not migrating, which is just kind of ridiculous. And then the other issue you have is you go from day 9, your kingdom, to day 10, an entirely different kingdom, right? It's the same kingdom, same kingdom number, but you get hundreds of new players, hundreds of new accounts. All the natives, a lot of them get kicked if they don't go by an activity power system. That's one of the things that I love about Invictus, my current group on my restart, is they use activity as a metric. And that really helps natives, people who did the native to help secure the kingdom, stay in the alliance and stay impactful. But outside of that, and I think most groups, you're really screwed, and it's such a disgusting advantage over what's almost a necessity, having some natives, right? Because you need an alliance getting structures and altars and etc. to set up for the natives, but you're basically just doing work for people who are going to have a better time than you are, which is just pretty ridiculous. And then the last thing that just happened, which inspired me almost to make this video, is one of the kingdoms in our bracket got the star. And while the star is supposed to be an indication of power, the kingdom, upon further investigation, actually has multiple jump groups within it. Or sorry, not jump groups, multiple sleeper groups within it that will be leaving the kingdom. Which is insane, right? So they're supposed to be a powerful kingdom based on Lilith, ratings, if you will. But in reality, it's just a kingdom that's going to be weak because they're all leaving after. So, what I would love to see a Lilith do to address this is remove migration until either much later than, the 10-day gap that you get now, or another potential idea is something along the lines of removing the fact that you can get, let's say, the Chronicle, the Monument Awards, right? If you go to a younger kingdom, you get their awards again. I think that would be a good step. Yes, I love that. I got like thousands and thousands and thousands of free gems, but the advantage is too strong. It's too beneficial. It's too persuasive that if you don't do it or you don't know about it because you're a new player, you just really get screwed over. And I just think it's so gross. Me being, starting this YouTube and having all these guides out, I've come into contact with a lot of new players, and a lot of them are like, "Oh, you migrated. Why did you migrate? Did you hate your kingdom?" I'm like, "No, of course not, right? Of course not. I just literally want the advantage and the gems because as a free to play, even as a spender, there's no reason to hurt myself and hurt my account and hurt my wallet by not migrating, by not being a sleeper." So I frankly just want to make this video to, get some also other people's opinions. I think that if you disagree with me, enlighten me. Tell me why. I'm very curious. I am not ignorant to the fact that free-to-play players like myself and I mentioned need the gems, so it is beneficial to us to do the sleeper. I think the real shame and what I'm trying to get at, I suppose, is that it's a necessity. It's that you don't have a choice. If you do the sleeper, you can end up with 30,000 more gems because you got 10 more altars and all the chronicle. You could end up with hundreds, or not hundreds, right? That's an exaggeration. but tens of days of speed ups more depending on how long you stay there. I did the Shadow Legion event and then did my sleeper and migrated back. So I got more materials and whatnot. I got more epic heads, and that's less exciting, right? But there were gems in there, there were equipment keys in there. It's just all insane advantages that makes it a necessity. And I think there really shouldn't be one thing in any game that I play that is, hey, only you know this because you're an experienced player. It's a necessity to do this. And I think that's just a shame because the new players are getting screwed over. And at the core of it, the experience, every game needs a fresh influx of new players. So please let me know what you think. Let me know why you agree with me, why you disagree with me, why I'm totally off the mark. And if you do think I'm on the right track, leave a like, subscribe. If you don't, subscribe as well. Why not, right? Come out with daily videos, so you're going to get more content like this. You can feel free to enlighten me on why you're correct. But I really am hoping there's something I don't see here that someone could tell me, because it just seems like such a sham, such a bad experience. I personally think the kingdom feels a lot less natural. I led a jump group myself, but it feels more impactful. Sleepers feel a lot more impactful than jumping did, and it just feels negative for the player experience. But hey, that's just my take. I hope you tune in for more videos, and I will see you tomorrow.